There's a bright golden haze on the meadow.
So last year, gamers everywhere saw the biggest acquisition reveal in the history of the industry, Activision Blizzard King joining Xbox. But what was supposed to be a smooth transition to games like Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, and more coming to Game Pass subscribers became 20 months of the most dragged out deal ever. But now, as of this morning, and I can't believe I'm saying it, after many court hearings, contracts signed, and approvals from around the world, Microsoft now owns Activision Blizzard King.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Look, it's Samurai Kibiji here, and I said I would not talk about the Activision Blizzard situation until the deal is closed. I was just done. I was so tired. After hearing we're going to extend the deadline, we're going to work it out with the CMA, I just could not do it anymore, along with many other people, I'm sure, kind of with me on that. But as of now, we actually have the blog. We actually have the trailer. The trailer, which, by the way, watching it actually got me to kind of swell up a bit. We have higher-ups and Phil Spencer and everybody confirming this is it. Activision Blizzard King is now part of Xbox, and just saying that out loud is insane. It takes me back to when this was first announced and thinking about all the possibilities that it could have, and now we can finally start thinking about those possibilities again. Things like all the teams that work on Call of Duty at Activision, are they able to be free now? Are they able to go design other things? Are we going to see more brand new Spyro games? And the trailer and blog post kind of has me thinking again, you know, like what this deal can actually happen with. Like, there was things like Guitar Hero mentioned. You get to see a little snippet of prototype, and it shows some things that I'd like to bring up here, because now this deal's closed, we can talk about what it means again. We can finally leave the longest political debate that has been a thing. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't happy about this deal. Hell, maybe you're one of them. Fine, I get it. I'm not with, I've seen people go like, all right, now who's next? I don't want that. That's me. But I understand I'm not everyone. You're not everyone. We all are going to have different opinions. But the fact of the matter is, the deal is closed, so let's just make the best of the situation. And that situation is thinking about all the things gaming. We can now talk about the gaming side of it instead of just what this means and so on. There's been a lot of interesting things we have learned through this whole deal. We found out so many things. We found out, yes, Xbox really does intend to make a lot of things exclusive with Bethesda. Yes, we did this deal because we have the intent of opening up a mobile market, and having King is going to be a great help on that, along with Blizzard. Yes, we learned that Call of Duty is going to stay everywhere, and they have publicly said that constantly because that's what anybody cared about, I guess, for some reason. We even saw like the whole release schedule for Bethesda and like the numbers of how much money does Call of Duty. We've learned so much about the industry the past 20 months that has led to so many political debates, and now that this is closed, let's just talk about the freaking gaming situation of it. Let's talk about the idea that we will see future games like Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Diablo. We might see all those games be day one accessible things if you are a Game Pass subscriber, which is wild to think. Continuously the most sold game of the year as Call of Duty might now just be accessible to everyone that has Game Pass. I know that's not going to happen immediately. There's some, again, we've learned things. That's not going to happen until I think 2025, but what might we see in the immediate future? When the heck is Diablo 4 coming to Game Pass? Is there another Crash Bandicoot game in development? Are we going to see Toys for Bob, the people that develop Crash Bandicoot, might they be interested in doing that Banjo game, the Banjo-Kazooie game that a lot of people are hoping for? There's so many possibilities with this now that we can finally start talking about, instead of just wondering about if this deal is going to close and why it might not and everything. We can now just say it's closed. We can now talk about the game situation. We can now see the idea, I don't know, Master Chief skin on an Overwatch character. We might be able to see some kind of cool art scheme of Banjo-Kazooie side by side with Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, along with maybe Raz from Psychonauts. We can see things like that now because the deal is closed. Like, just take yourself back to 20 months ago in January of 2022 when this was first announced. And I want, what were you thinking at that time? What were you feeling at that time? Just talking about everything that I'm talking about now takes me back. It takes me back to thinking of those moments and the content that I did about just, talking about the situation and whatnot, and the debates that maybe, the PlayStation would have with it, and how impacted might the competition be by this. And it's like, I'm back in that place, and I'm very curious if it took you back to that place, because now the deal is closed. And it sounds like they're wording things to make it sound like we're not going to see the immediate effects of it until probably next year. But I'm really, really hoping that we will see multiple Activision Blizzard games come over to Game Pass within the next month or two. Very much crossing my fingers for Diablo 4. Please give me Diablo 4. I've been a patient person for that, and I'm really hoping, come on. The things that this deal means most to me personally, now that it is closed, is one, I am a frugal person. What Game Pass does for me as a person like that, it helps me play so many games I would never have before. And with this deal closing now I'm just excited because I might be able to, even if they add their back catalog, I might be able to play like the Crash Bandicoot remaster and the Spyro remasters, and I enjoy the Call of Duty campaigns. I'm not a Call of Duty guy, but I've always wanted to play the campaigns. Just straight through, be done, move on. And as I've said, Diablo 4, like, Game Pass is the reason I, on a personal level, was really looking forward to this deal, as I'm sure maybe you as well. But in the big picture side of things, there's so many team members at Activision specifically, between like the 7 studios they have there or whatever, that were all hands on deck on Call of Duty. And I'm really wondering if that model is going to keep up, because it is a cash cow, for whoever owns Call of Duty, that is the cash cow, other than King, which King is a separate story nobody talks about. But like, is that cash cow going to be stopped? Are those studios and teams going to still be just the Call of Duty machine, or are they just going to have like Treyarch, whatever, Hammer, and Infinity Ward? Are they just going to have those 3 teams working on COD with occasional support throughout the rest of Xbox's entire 30 studios or whatever now? Instead of it just being those 7, I wonder if there's going to be a lot of potential support from multiple studios, as a lot of Xbox games do. That's something I didn't even think of until I just now said it out loud. But that might leave freaking Raven to do another game like the Wolverine game. That might leave Toys for Bob to be able to make, not only more Crash Bandicoot games, maybe other things that Xbox owns. That is something I'm very curious to see. And the third and final thing that the trailer specifically kind of gave me hope on, and the blog as well, is old franchises. In that vein, our old franchise is going to come back. In the trailer, you see a little glimpse of Prototype in that trailer, and I was shocked to see that. You see StarCraft on the blog and in the trailer as well. Like, those are 2 franchises that have not had really much of anything new in a long time. Phil Spencer mentioned Guitar Hero in the blog, and it's just things like that that makes me just wonder, are you going to bring these things back? It's a new era. As I post this video, I'm going to kind of give a free plug to Game On Daily. Like, I'm going to be on that live show tomorrow, but I feel like I have to do like some kind of a live stream to talk with you guys about this, because this is huge. The possibilities are endless. And like, let's just start that conversation. What are the possibilities? And if you didn't know about all the things we have learned through this 20-month long freaking thing, then again, I've made that as a video you see on screen here. Like, that sums up a lot of the things we learned when they were against the FTC, who is still the biggest enemy of this case, and the meme of a video here that is really now the situation. Check those out and let me know all your thoughts about this in the comments down below.